Hi guys, morning. Welcome to Tuesday morning yoga. I hope you're all alright. It's a bit rainy this morning. Oh well. So this morning we're going to be working on quite a lot of hamstring stretches, hamstring strengthening. So you might need to get a strap or a yoga belt if you don't already have one. Just something that kind of resembles one of these, so you can use a dressing gown, use a belt, dog lead, skipping rope, anything you've got. We're just going to use it at the beginning for one of the stretches. So don't worry if you don't have anything, you can use your hands instead, but it is quite useful to have one of these. And we're going to start laying down in Shavasana. So whenever you're ready, find yourselves in a laying down position on your mat. I'll start in about a minute or so. I'll just give it a bit of time for people to get ready and get set up. Try not to stand up because my head is still slightly chopped off. So we're going to do quite a lot of laying down things, lots of lunges. So we'll get going in about 30 seconds. So if you just put this on, feel free to come and lay down. So we are starting laying down in Shavasana. You might need a strap, yoga strap, just for a couple of the hamstring stretches at the beginning. So it's anything that resembles one of these. You could use tie, belt, anything really, rolled up towel. You don't really need anything else. It might be useful to have a couple of big books nearby, but don't worry if you don't have them. Yoga blocks, just for some of the stretches, but they're not always needed. And then any blankets and cushions you want to finish faster. Cool. I'll make a start. So if you're not ready, come and lay down. So laying down on your spine. We'll start with 2 stretches just for the side of the body. So I always call this a banana stretch, but then when I tell someone to do a banana stretch, they end up doing something completely different. So what we're going to do is like a C shape. So keep your shoulders and your back on the mat and just start to shuffle your shoulders over to the left side of your mat. So your back wants to stay flat onto the ground. From there, start to bring your arms up overhead. If you want a little bit more of a stretch, you can start to walk both feet over to the left as well, but keep the hips on the ground. So you just shuffle in the feet over to the left-hand side. You should be able to feel a stretch down the right side of the body here, maybe into the right hip, right obliques, maybe into the lats at the top of the back as well. So the left hand is going to catch hold of the right wrist, and then use that left hand just to pull that right arm up and overhead alongside your right ear a little bit more. Try and keep the shoulders relaxed here. We'll take one full inhale in through the nose. One full exhale out. And then just start to make your way to the opposite side. So shuffling the shoulders all the way over to the right, and then bringing the legs over as well. So taking your time to get all the way over to the right side of the mat, keeping the back down, keeping the hips down. When you have arrived, we'll take the arms up overhead, and then the right hand is going to catch hold of the left wrist. So coming into that C shape down the left side of the body here. So you should be stretching into the left hip, left oblique breath here. So full inhale in, fill the belly, fill the chest. Full exhale out. And then just start to release out of this stretch, just making your way to the center of the mat. So making yourself long. If you want to take a couple of stretches here as well, you can. If you want to take a pencil stretch, arms go up overhead, feet come out long, making yourself into a pencil. And then we'll start to take our breath practice. So there's a couple of options this morning. You can either just stay in your Shavasana with the hands down by the side, legs out long, or bend the knees. Place the soles of the feet flat to the ground, bring the feet together, and then just allow the knees to fall down to the side. So opening up the knees out wide. This is going to start to take a bit more of a passive stretch into the hips here. If it gets uncomfortable at any point, just make your way out of this. So just bend the knees. Hands can stay on the belly or down by the side of the body. We'll take 2 deep breaths here. So full inhale in, fill the belly, fill the chest. Hold it at the top and exhale, sigh out. Do that one more time. Full inhale in, holding it at the top, And exhale, breathe out, sigh it out, closing the eyes if you haven't already, or just softening the gaze down. So just noticing any points of your body that are connected with the mat. So maybe the back of the neck, back of the head, the lower spine, maybe the top of the hips, the top of the back, elbows, palms. Just noticing any connections with the mat. And see if you can just let your body become a bit heavier. So letting those contact areas just sink a little bit deeper into the ground. So we're just going to start to allow the body to settle. Just get used to being in this space, being on your mat. If you've got a mat, if not, don't worry. Just starting to let the mind become a little bit more present. So we are arriving on our mat. Just starting to notice any sensations as the body starts to settle down. So maybe noticing the breath here. Noticing any movements in the body, any sensations, any tingling. Maybe the body starts to cool down a little bit. Just starting to bring a sense of softness into the face. So softening the muscles in between the forehead. So softening the muscles in between the eyebrows. So letting the forehead become soft. Just starting to relax the jaw as well. So notice if you were clenching the teeth. Let the shoulders be heavy. Let the palms be heavy wherever they are. Just let the feet become heavy as well. Letting go of anywhere that feels like it's gripping. If there's anywhere that feels like it's kind of holding on, see if you can start to soften. You might find it's a bit difficult at the start of the class, but the more we move around, hopefully the easier that will become. And then just start to bring your attention fully to your breath. So just observing how the breath moves around the body, the length of the breath, the quality of the breath, whether it feels like it's getting stuck anywhere or whether it feels quite fluid. And we'll start to deepen our breath here. So just starting to make the inhales a little bit fuller, filling up the belly, filling up the chest. And as the exhales become even deeper, letting all the breath flow back out of the body. If the hands are on the belly, maybe just noticing that expansion of the stomach, of the belly with the inhales. Trying to get as much air into the stomach as we can. Focusing on slowing the breath down, starting to get a bit more control over our breath here. So see if you can start to make each round of breath just a little bit longer, a little bit more full. And stay here for about 3 more cycles of breath. You might find you only end up doing 2, you might end up doing 5. Don't worry, as long as you found a cycle of breath that you can stick with that works for you. A rhythm of breath you want to be able to come back to throughout this morning. So better with slow breath, especially with the exhales. Especially if you've got quite tight hamstrings, it's easier if you breathe. And just taking one more full breath like this. And if you had your knees out to the side, if you had your legs in this diamond position, just place your hands underneath your legs and use the hands to guide the knees up to the center. Keep the right knee where it is. So you might just need to bend the right knee here. Place the right sole of the foot flat to the ground. We're just going to take hold of our left leg, draw the left knee into the chest. Just start to make a couple of circles, left and right, with that left knee. So just moving in any direction. Just starting to wake up that left hip. When you're ready, we're going to take our first hamstring stretch. So if you are using the strap, we're going to hook the strap onto the very base of the left foot. So just hooking it underneath the foot, trying to get the strap about where the ball of the foot is. So it's not really in the center, it's more towards the front of that left foot. From here, start to extend that left leg up towards the sky and catch hold of the strap with the left hand. If you're not using the strap, you can do this with the hands as well. So you can place the hands behind the leg, behind the shin. Or if you're super flexible and not tight this morning, you can catch hold of the inside of the big toe with the left hand. So from here, we're going to start to take a couple of bends with that left knee and then we'll hold it still. So with your next inhale, just start to bend the left knee and hook the left knee in towards your left armpit. And as you exhale, extend that left leg all the way back up to the sky. We'll do 3 more of those. So inhale to bend into the left knee. Exhale to extend. Inhale, squeeze left knee, left armpit. Exhale to extend. Last one, inhale, squeeze the left knee into the left armpit. Exhale, extend that left leg up to the sky. And then we'll just hold it here. So your right hand just wants to come down by the side of the body, or you can place the right hand onto the belly. If this feels comfortable, you can also into that right hip flexor as well. Make sure both thighs are active, so you really want to squeeze the quads, lift the kneecaps up, and you can keep a bend in that left knee here as well, especially if the hamstrings are tight. Try not to hyperextend that left knee, so if it feels like the left knee is kind of pushed backwards, just keep a bend into that left knee. Find the breath here, tune back in with that breath from the beginning. With every inhale, thinking about lengthening the left leg, strengthening the left leg, and with every exhale, just creeping the toes a little bit closer towards the chest. Try not to tug at the moment. On your next exhale, start to bend that left knee, hug the left knee into the chest. Trying to place it near the ball of the right foot, the strap, and then we'll extend that right knee, that right leg up to the sky. Try and keep the lower back pressed down to the ground here. So the very bony bit of the tailbone, you want to keep that bit pressed down into the ground. So if you're not using the strap, don't worry, your hands can come behind the thigh, the shin, or you can use the 2-piece fingers on the right hand to catch hold of the inside of the big toe. So we'll take those bends to start with, just to get a little bit warmer. So with an inhale, squeeze the right knee into the armpit. And as you exhale, extend that right leg up to the sky. We'll do 3 more. So with an inhale, bend the right knee, give the right knee a hug. Exhale, extend the right leg up to the sky. Last 2, try and work with the breath here as well. Inhaling to draw the right knee in. Exhale to extend. And last one, inhale, squeeze the right knee into the chest. And as you exhale, extending that right leg up to the sky, and then we'll hold it here. So left hand can either stay on the belly, come down by the side of the body. If you do want to, you can start to straighten that left leg out here as well. Make sure that both feet are dorsiflexed. So you want to draw your toes back towards your knees. That's going to help to activate the quads. So squeeze those kneecaps up. Working with your breath with every inhale, you want to strengthen and straighten as much as you can that right leg. With every exhale, draw the right tiptoes towards the chest. Again, keeping that tailbone pressed down. You can stay with a bend in that right knee here as well, especially if there's any tension in the knee, any pulling or tugging in the lower back, just keep a bend in that right knee. Taking 2 more full rounds of breath here. So filling up the belly with the inhales, creeping those toes back with the exhales. Taking 1 last cycle of breath. And as you exhale, just start to bend that right knee back into the chest. We will unhook our strap and then pop it to one side. You might need it at the end, so try and keep it nearby. Okay, so both soles of the feet are going to come flat down towards the ground, so bend the knees. We'll take 3 glute bridges, so bring the heels as close towards your glutes as you can. Hands come alongside the body. With an inhale, press the feet into the ground, lift the hips up. Take your gaze up towards the sky. Keep squeezing the butt. Tuck the hip bones under. Belly button pulls back to spine. Stay here for 3. Lift the hips a bit higher. 2, 1. Exhale. Bring your chest and back all the way down to the ground. So the next 2, we're going to get a little bit more into the hamstrings, Chinese planks. So just start to walk the legs out a little bit straighter. The straighter your legs are, the harder this is going to be. Coming into cramp territory. So if you get cramp, just drop your bum back down. On an inhale, press your heels into the ground. So your feet should be flexed. We press the heels down, lift the hips up. You should straight away feel those hamstrings turn on. Option 1, hold it here. Option 2, start to hover the left heel off the ground. That is going to bring a lot more pressure into that right leg. Keep lifting up the hips. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, don't hold the breath, 2, and 1, release. Bring the left heel down, drop your bum down. We're going to do the same thing on the right hand side this time, so come straight into it. Inhale, heels press into the ground, lift up the hips if you want more. Right heel hovers off the ground. Really press that left heel down for 5, 4, 3, hips up higher, 2, and 1, release. Drop both knees, both heels down. Draw the knees into the chest. Give yourself a hug. We're going to start to wake up our abdominal core. So place the hands behind your thighs and just take a couple of rocks up and down. We're going to hold it in our butt. So when you get to the top, hold it here. You might need to take a couple of rocks just until you've managed to get into this position. When you found this position, squeeze the knees together. Start to lift up the tiptoes and then start to lift the legs up a little bit higher. When you're ready, arms come off the legs. We're going to hold it here, but we're going to work through this and the hollow body hold. So inhale here, chest lifts. As you exhale, start to extend the legs out in front of you, bringing the lower base of the spine to the ground. We'll take our arms up overhead, hold it here, take an inhale, come all the way up into your boat pose. So we're just going to keep working through those 2. Exhale, legs come out long, lower back comes all the way down to the ground, arms come up overhead, inhale, come up, boat pose. 3 more, exhale. Finding your hollow body, hands come up overhead, inhale to lift. Last 2, exhale. Straighten out those legs, arms come up overhead. With your inhale, smack up. Last 1, exhale, coming all the way down. Hands come up overhead, inhale, hollow body, no, boat pose, hold it here. Bring your hands behind your legs, and we're just going to start to rock forwards and backwards. This is option 1. Using enough momentum each time, we're eventually going to start to come up and take a standing position. So try and use the momentum to get you up to your Utkatasana chair pose. If that is just not happening, just swing your legs off to one side and find your way up to a standing position. So keeping the knees bent, hands come up overhead, finding this chair pose. So tuck your sit bones under, belly button pulls back to spine, shoulders are down. Keep pressing through the heels and make sure that the feet are hip width here. Take 1 full inhale. And as you exhale, we're going to fold into our ragdoll position. So keep the knees quite bent for this first one. Just let the head hang heavy. Allow the lower back to round. And just take this forward fold into the legs. So you should start to feel those hamstrings turning on. Start to rock side to side here. So maybe straightening one leg, straightening the other leg. Maybe catching hold of opposite elbow. Maybe rocking the weight forwards and backwards, side to side. Just feeling into those legs, feeling into that lower back. Let the head be completely heavy here. And then when you're ready, we will drop both hands back down to the ground. Take the weight equally into both feet. Bend the knees, let the head become heavy. And just start to roll up slowly, 1 vertebra at a time. So the head wants to be the last thing that comes up. So take your time. Keep that core engaged here as well. When you get to your standing position, with an inhale, our hands come up overhead. Keep the shoulders down. Exhale, forward fold, coming all the way down to the ground. Hands can either come alongside the feet or just place the hands on the bottom of the legs somewhere. Inhale, come up halfway, look forward. Hands can come on the shins. Exhale, forward fold. We're just going to take it a little bit deeper this time. We're going to do 3 more of those. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Really work with the breath. Last 2. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Last 1. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. This time on the inhale, we halfway lift, come up halfway. As you exhale, both hands are going to come down towards the mat. Step back, find your first high plank position. We'll hold it here in our high plank. So just making sure that the hands are underneath the shoulders, feet are as wide as the hips, and there is the option to drop the knees down here as well. If the low back is arched, and just drop those knees down. Keep your gaze to the front of the mat. Keep breathing. Option 1, stay here. Option 2, with an inhale, just hover the right tiptoes an inch off the ground. So you want to keep the right tiptoes low. They're just hovering for 3, 2, 1, release. This time as you inhale, left tiptoes lift. Hold it here. Just hovering those left toes for 3, 2, 1, release. 1 more each side. Inhale, right tiptoes hover. 3, 2, 1. Last time, left hip toes lift for 3, 2, and 1. Drop both feet down. Drop the knees down for this first chaturanga. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, hook the elbows into the side of the body, lowering hips and chest down. Untuck the toes. Inhale. Chest lifts in your sphinx to start. So just keeping the forearms down. Shoulders roll away from the ears. Exhale, bringing the chest all the way down towards the mat. Hands come underneath the shoulders. We tuck our toes. The thighs lift. We press up into plank in one full stack. So try not to ripple. And then send hips up and back, downward dog. Take your time to pedal out this first downward dog. So just bending one knee, bending the other knee, and letting the head be completely heavy. Just giving any movements you want to do. So shaking the wrists, circling the ankles. If you want to drop back into a child's pose, you're more than welcome to here as well. So just starting to wake up the body. Just checking in. How does the body feel this morning? Noticing any areas of tightness as well. So the downward dog is a good indicator of anywhere that's tight. Take 2 more breaths here. Staying connected with that breath. And then when you're ready, start to find stillness. So our hands are spread wide. Start to walk your hands to the back of the mat. So you're walking your hands towards your feet. Try and keep the hands down for as long as you can. You might find you need to bend the knees here. When you get there, our right hand is going to come to the center of the mat. So it's just underneath our nose. You might need to grab a book or a block here just to make sure that that right hand can meet the ground. If the right hand can't come flat, come onto a fist with that right hand. Straighten out your left leg and bend your right knee a little bit more. We're going to reach our left arm up to the sky. So we're taking this twisted hamstring stretch. Don't worry if that left knee isn't quite straight here. You can keep bending both knees here. Option 1, stay here. Option 2, start to turn the back of the left hand to the base of the lower spine. So taking this into a bind. If the hand meets the spine quite comfortably, you can bring it a little bit further around so the right hand catches hold of the right thigh or the right hip. Keep your gaze up towards the sky. Lower that left shoulder away from the left ear. Breathe here. Deep breath. On your next inhale, reach that left arm all the way up to the sky. As you exhale, we're going to swap sides. So the left hand comes down to the ground. Bend the left knee, straighten the right leg. Reach the right arm up on the inhale. Option to stay here or turn that back of the palm around. Palm catches hold of the base of the lower spine or the left hip, left thigh. Really think about pulling that right shoulder away from the ears here. Keep breathing. So breathing into the belly, getting all the air into the belly. On your next inhale, start to reach that right arm all the way up to the sky. As you exhale, both hands come down to the mat, palms come flat, and we just walk straight back out into our plank position. Inhale into your plank. As you exhale, either with knees lifted or knees down, we exhale to lower hips and chest down to the ground. Untuck the toes, inhale, chest lifts, upward dog, or your sphinx position. Exhale, chest comes down to the ground, toes tuck, press up into your plank position in one full stack, and then send it up and back, either into downward dog or child's pose, knees out wide, feet together, bum comes back towards the heels. We'll take a couple of breaths here, and we're going to start to move a little bit faster. Hopefully you feel a bit warmer. If you need to grab a drink before we make it a bit more dynamic, feel free to grab a drink here. So if you're in your child's pose, come straight back up into your downward dog. We're going to start to lift up the right leg. So inhale, right leg lifts. Keep the hips square for this first one. So making sure that the right hip hasn't started to lift up. You want to keep both hips square. Inhale, come up high into the left tip toes. Keep that right leg where it is. Exhale, lower the left heel down. Inhale, come up high into the left tip toes. Exhale, lower the left heel down. We're going to do 2 more. We inhale, come up high into the left tip toes. Lift that right leg up a bit higher. Exhale, left heel comes down. Last time, inhale, left heel lifts. Exhale, left heel lowers. Inhale this time. The right knee is going to come forwards towards the right elbow. So you come into your plank position. Get that right knee as close to the right elbow as you can. And as you exhale, send that right foot back into your plank position, but try and keep the right tiptoes hovering off the ground. We're going to do 3 more of those. Inhale, right knee as close to your right elbow as you can. Exhale, send it back. Try not to put it down into your plank. Last 2, inhale, right knee, right elbow. Try and stay with me. Exhale, send it back to plank. Last 1, inhale, right knee, right elbow. Exhale, step back to plank. This time put the both toes down. We're going to come into a side plank. So either drop the right knee down, swing the right knee off to the side, lift the left arm up, or if you want a bit more of a challenge, drop both heels over to the right hand side, lift the left arm up here, find your side plank. Breathe. It suddenly got a little bit warm. So keep lifting up the hips. Check that the right hand is underneath the right shoulder. Option 1, stay as you are. Option 2, start to bring your left arm up across past your ear. And we're going to start to hover the left foot off the mat. Inhale here. As you exhale, crunch left knee, left elbow. Inhale to extend. Exhale, crunch left knee, left elbow. Inhale to extend. Last 2. Inhale, left knee, left elbow. Inhale to extend. Last time, exhale, left knee, left elbow. Inhale, extend. Bring both your left hand and your left foot back down to the mat. Find your plank position. Send your hips up and back, downward dog. Inhale, left leg lifts up high, 3-legged dog. And as you exhale, you're going to swing that left leg all the way through to the front of the mat. Drop the left foot down. Drop your right knee down. Take an inhale, hands come up overhead. Lunge position. And as you exhale, send your hips backwards, finding your half split hamstring stretch. So we're going to hold it here for a couple of breaths, and then we're going to start to move again. So check that your left hip is stacked over your right knee. So you've got hip stacked over knee. Left leg wants to be as straight as you can. You can keep bending that left knee and draw your toes back. So you've got that dorsiflexion in the left foot. Fingertips can either just stay alongside the left leg, or you can keep the hands on the hips. You want to think about having a flat lower back here. So it's quite tempting to round the back just to get the nose to the knee. But what our intention wants to be here is having a straight spine. So you're strengthening the lower back and leading forwards with the chest. So you're stretching the back of the left leg. Breathe into this. If you're wobbling, find something to focus on. And you can just bring maybe one hand down just to give you that little bit of support here. Okay. So we're going to start to move between our lunge and our hamstring stretch. So on your next inhale, bend your left knee, bring the arms up overhead. And as you exhale, press through the left heel, drive your hips up and back, hamstring stretch. Keep moving. Inhale, left knee bends, left arm, both arms lift. Exhale, send it back, hamstring stretch. We've got 2 more of these. Inhale, bend into the left knee, finding that breath. Exhale, send it back into your hamstring stretch. Last time we inhale, coming up into our lunge. Exhale, send it back, hamstring stretch. This time as you inhale, bending into the left knee, hands lift, hold it here. As you exhale, both hands come down to the ground, so both hands frame the left foot. Our right toes tuck, we lift up our right knee. Look forwards, belly button pulls back to spine, hands come up to the hips. We're going to transfer all of our weight to the left leg, finding warrior 3. So find your balance here. Don't worry if it takes a couple of attempts to get into it. Really focus on something that's not moving. Have that right leg as straight as you can. You can keep a micro bend into the left knee here. Option 1, stay where you are. Maybe just dropping the right tiptoes down. Option 2, we're going to start to make this a bit more dynamic. Inhale, see if you can straighten that right leg anymore. As you exhale, we're going to squeeze our right knee into our left. So bend that left knee, make yourself into a little ball. We've got 2 more of those. Inhale, extend that right leg back. Exhale, crunch right knee to left knee, make yourself into a little ball. Last time, inhale, extend right leg back. Exhale, crunch right knee to left. Ignore the burn in the quads. Last time, inhale, extend that right leg back. We're going to, with control, bend into your left knee, just a micro bend. Start to drop your right tiptoes all the way back down, finding your high lunge position. Inhale, hands come up overhead. As you exhale, we've got two options. Option one, interlace the hands behind the back, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Option two, just place the back of the hand onto the base of the lower spine. Start to bend your right knee, so the right knee is pointing down towards the ground. Squeeze the glutes. We're going to start to take a little bit of strengthening for the right hip flexor here. Inhale at the top. As you exhale, with control, slowly lowering that right knee down about an inch off the ground. Inhale, coming up with control, moving with the breath. We've got two more. Exhale, lower the right knee down about an inch off the ground. Inhale, coming up. I think we've got one more. I've lost count. Exhale, lowering down slowly. Keep squeezing that right glute. Inhale, coming all the way up. This time as you exhale, moving down slowly. So taking your time to get there. Our right knee is going to come onto the mat and we'll hold it here. So the right knee is down. Both hands frame the left foot. The right toes tuck, we lift our right leg. Step the left foot back to plank. Inhale into your plank. Exhale, either move straight back into your downward dog or vinyasa, hips and chest lower down to the ground. Untuck the toes, inhale, chest lifts. Exhale, chest comes all the way back down to the ground. The toes tuck, we send our hips up and back through plank, finding downward dog. Or take a couple of breaths in child's pose if you'd like to instead. So really find the breath here. Hopefully you feel a bit warmer. We're going to do exactly the same thing on the left-hand side, so you know what's coming this time. It's not too bad. Tuning back in with that breath. If you feel quite warm, exhale it out the mouth. Grab a drink if you need to. If you're in your child's pose, just start to make your way back up into your downward facing dog. On your next inhale, this time the left leg lifts, flex the left foot. So keeping those hips square. Keep the shoulders square as well. Inhale, come up high into your right tiptoes. Exhale, lower that right heel down. Keep that left leg lifted. Inhale, right heel lifts. Exhale, right heel lowers. Inhale, right knee lifts. Sorry, right heel lifts. Exhale, right heel lowers. Last one, we inhale. Right heel lifts. Exhale, right heel lowers. This time as you inhale, squeeze your left knee towards your left elbow, finding your way into a plank position. As you exhale, sweep that left foot back into your plank. Keep the hips down, but try not to put that left tiptoe down. We've got 3 more of those. Inhale, draw that left knee as close to your left elbow as you can. Exhale, sweep back, plank position, left foot hovers. We've got 2 more. Inhale, left knee, left elbow. Exhale, sweep it back. Last time, inhale, left knee, left elbow. This time as you exhale, step back to plank, both feet come together. Drop both heels over to the left-hand side. Open up the right arm, find your plank position. If you want to modify, just drop that left knee down, lifting up the hips. Option 1, stay here. Option 2, right arm is going to come up overhead. So the right armpit is just near the right ear. And we start to hover our right foot up. Inhale here. As you exhale, crunch right knee, right elbow. Inhale to extend. Exhale, crunch right knee, right elbow. Inhale to extend. Last 2, stay with that breath. Exhale, right knee, right elbow. Inhale to extend. Last one, exhale, right knee, right elbow. Inhale to extend. Drop your right foot down, drop your right hand down. Find your plank position. Send your hips up and back, downward dog. Inhale, this time reach the right leg up to the sky. Flex the right foot. As you exhale, we're going to swing that right foot all the way through to the front of the mat. Right foot replaces right hand. Drop your left knee down, take an inhale. Hands come up overhead into your lunge position. And as you exhale, send those hips back, finding your hamstring stretch on the right leg. Breathe. So you should be able to feel that stretch in the back of the right leg here. So just making sure that the hips are stacked over the knee. You haven't started to pull back. It can be quite tempting to pull that hip back, but keep the hips stacked over the knee. You can keep a bend into that right knee here as well, but you want to get that right leg as straight as you can, keeping those quads engaged, flattening out the lower spine. So if you need to bring the hands to the hips, feel free to do so. Keeping that core engaged, and think about pushing the bum backwards and upwards, leading with the chest. Okay, so we're going to start to take those dynamic movements between the lunge and the hamstring stretch. So with your next inhale, bend your right knee, lift the arms up overhead. And as you exhale, start to send your hips back into your hamstring stretch. So we're just going to work through those two movements. Inhale, hands come up, lunge. Exhale, send it back, stretching that right leg. We've got two more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, pull the hips back, stretching into that right leg. Really find the breath. Last one, inhale to reach the hands up. Exhale, pull it back, last hamstring stretch. Well, last one on this leg. Inhale, start to bend into the right leg. Both hands frame the right foot. We took our left toes, we lift up that left leg. Left knee. Hands come to the hips. Keep bending into that right knee. Look forwards, lean into the right leg. Then we're going to start to lift up, finding warrior three on that right leg. So flex that flex the left foot. You want to have that left leg as active as you can. The more active it is, the lighter it will feel, the easier it is to lift. Keep those hips square. So drop the left hip down a tiny bit. Option one, stay here. Option two, inhale, lengthen that left leg. Exhale, bending both knees. Make yourself into a little ball. We've got three more. Inhale to extend. Exhale, make yourself into a little ball. I know the legs hurt. Inhale, extend. If you breathe, it does make it easier, I think. Exhale, crunch left knee, right knee. We've got one more. Inhale to extend. Last time we exhale, crunch left knee to right. And this time as you inhale, send that left leg back, find warrior three. Start to micro bend the right knee. The left hip toes are going to come all the way down to the ground. We inhale, hands come up high, finding your lunge position. And then from here, option one, interlace the hands behind the back, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Or option two, the back of the palms comes to the base of the lower spine. Draw the elbows back. Start to bend that left knee. So you're just pointing the left knee down towards the ground, squeeze the left glute. Inhale here. As you exhale, slowly with control, lowering that left knee down to the ground. Inhale, coming up. Slowly exhale, lower the left knee down, just about an inch off the ground. Inhale, coming all the way up. Last two, we exhale. Lower that left knee down, slowly with control. Inhale, coming up. Last one, this time as you exhale, lower that left knee down, keep going, and then we'll drop that left knee down at the bottom. Both hands come to frame the right foot, tuck the left toes, lift up that left leg, step the right foot back to meet your left in your plank position. Inhale into your plank. As you exhale, hips and chest lower down. You can skip it, come straight into your downward dog. Untuck the toes, inhale, chest lifts. Exhale, chest comes all the way down to the ground. The toes tuck, we send our hips up and back. Through plank, finding downward dog, or finding child's pose. Hold it here for 5 deep breaths. So we've just got one more mini sequence left to do, with a couple more hamstring stretches. So just give yourself a quick body scan. How do the hamstrings feel? How does the body feel? Grab a drink if you need to grab a drink. Hopefully you feel warm. If you do feel warm, just exhale it out the mouth. So from your child's pose, if you're in child's pose, make your way into your downward dog. We're going to do exactly the same ab sequence here that we just did, but we're going to do it much shorter, so we're going to do 2 of each. So from your downward dog, with an inhale, right leg lifts, Flex the right foot. Keep those hips square. Inhale, come up behind the left hip toe. So lift up that left heel. Exhale, lower the left heel down. One more inhale. Lift up the left heel. Exhale, lower that left heel down. As you inhale, right knee draws through to our right elbow, finding your plank position. Exhale, sweep that right foot back, stay low. So you're in your plank position, but the right foot is going to hover off the ground. Inhale, draw right knee to right elbow. Exhale, sweep that right foot back. This time, drop the tiptoes down. Side plank, option 1. Both heels drop to the right-hand side. Option 2, drop the right knee down. Lift the left arm up overhead. Lift those hips up high. Option 1, stay here. Option 2, left arm comes up overhead. So just bring it past that left ear. And our left heel starts to lift. You can hold it here. Or we've got 2 crunches. Inhale, reach. Exhale, crunch left knee, left elbow. Inhale to reach. Exhale, crunch left knee, left elbow. Last time, inhale, reach. Drop your left hand and your left foot down. Find your plank position. Send the hips up, downward dog. Inhale, left heel lifts up, 3-legged dog on the left side. As you exhale, squeeze your left knee all the way through to the front. Drop that left foot down to replace the left hand at the front of the mat. So from this position, we're going to try and keep our right knee lifted this time. Press it through the left foot, coming all the way up into a high lunge. As you exhale, option 1, the back of the hands comes to the base of the lower spine, or we interlace the fingertips, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and press those hands down towards the glutes. Option 1, keep that right heel lifted. Option 2, drop the right heel down at 45 degrees. Don't want us to be flat. Keep bending into that left knee. Inhale here. As you exhale, start to fold forwards over the left leg, bringing those arms up overhead. Humble warrior. So you're aiming to bring your left shoulder sort of onto the inside of the left knee. But don't worry if it doesn't quite be. If you're just leaning forwards, that's absolutely fine here. Try and keep equal pressure between both feet. And try not to let the toes grip the mat here either. So you want to have flat feet, drive through the heels. Try and square off the hips here too. So think about pulling that right hip forward. Keep breathing. On your next inhale, start to come all the way up to your lunge position. And then we'll step the right foot halfway forward. So both legs want to be straight here. Squaring off the hips, take an inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, full forwards on the left leg. Arms come up overhead if you've got the bind. So you should feel a bit of a deeper stretch into that left leg here. Squeeze the thighs. Think about pulling the left hip back and flattening out that lower spine. So like we did in those hamstring stretches at the beginning in our half splits, try not to bend the lower back. Keep the chest lifted. Push the bum backwards. That is going to strengthen the lower spine and stretch the back of that left leg. Find the breath with every exhale. See if you can soften into that left leg a little bit more. On your next inhale, just start to take the bind out. So bring the hands to the hips and just come up about halfway. So you lean into that left leg. Core is turned on. Our right hand is going to come onto either our left thigh or our left shin. Left arm comes out to a T. Inhale here. As you exhale, start to twist up towards the left-hand side. So we're in twisted trikonasana. So we're in twisted triangle position. So think of all the triangles. So you've got triangle with the legs, triangle with the left leg and the right arm. And you want to have your left fingertips in line with your left shoulder. So making sure that both heels are pressing down, our hips are square, and our spine hasn't started to round. With every inhale, can you lengthen? With every exhale, can you twist? We'll stay here for one more full breath. Don't hold the breath here. On your next exhale, start to take the twist out. Bring the hands to the hips, bend the left knee. We're going to take one last warrior 3. So leaning into that left leg. Start to lift up that right leg. Those hamstrings are not going to want to do it, but we're going to do it anyway. Breathe for 3, 2, and 1. Sweep the right leg all the way through. Bring the right knee up to the chest. Bring that right leg up as high as you can. And then start to drop that right foot down, bring both feet together at the front of the mat. Give your legs a little bit of a shake. We're going to go down in one sun salutation. So take the hands up overhead, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, both hands come down to the ground. Step back into your plank position. Inhale into your plank, and as you exhale, either move through vinyasa or skip it, coming straight into downward dog or child's pose. We're nearly done. We've just got exactly the same mini sequence on the other side. It's not too bad. And then Shavasana. So when you've got into your child's pose like a downward dog, take a couple of deep breaths. Exhaling it out of the mouth if you're feeling warm. Feel free to grab a drink. We won't stay here for too long. So when you are ready, if you're in your child's pose, just start to make your way up into your downward dog. With an inhale, our left leg lifts this time, leading with the left heel. Hips are square. So we've only got 2 of each. Inhale, come up high into the right tiptoes. Exhale, lower the right heel down. Last time, inhale, coming up high into the right tiptoes. Exhale, lower the right heel down. Inhale, left knee draws forward towards the left elbow in your plank position, shoulders stack over wrists. Exhale, keep the shoulders where they are. Send your left foot back to meet your right, but keep that left hip toes lifted. Inhale, lift your left knee towards your left elbow. Plank, hold it in your plank. Side plank, option 1. Both heels drop to the left-hand side. We reach our right arm up. Option 2, drop that left knee down. Squeeze in your obliques, so keep lifting up the hips. Option 1, stay here. Option 2, hover the right foot. Bring the right arm up overhead. You can hold it here. Or take an inhale, reach. As you exhale, crunch right knee, right elbow. We've only got 1 more after this. We inhale to reach. Exhale, crunch right knee, right elbow. Inhale to reach. As you exhale, come back into your plank position. Send your hips up and back, downward dog. With an inhale, our right foot lifts. Flex the right foot, lead with the right heel. And as you exhale, squeeze that right knee all the way through to the front of the mat. Drop the right foot down to replace the right hand at the front of the mat. Keeping that left leg lifted. Press through the right foot. Inhale, coming all the way up to your high lunge. Hands come up overhead. Option 1, interlace the hands behind the back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Option 2, back of the palms come to the base of the lower spine. So you can drop the left heel down at a 45-degree angle here. We inhale, our chest lifts. And as you exhale, fold forwards, humble warrior. So keeping those hips square, pull your right hip back. If your shoulder meets the knee, then think about trying to shuffle the right shoulder onto the inside of that right knee. Keep those hips engaged here, so keep using the quads. Try not to relax. Find your breath. Excuse me. Press through the heels. Try not to grip with the toes. Try not to clench the teeth here either. Okay. On your next inhale, coming all the way up with the body. Keep the arms exactly as they are. We're just going to step the left leg about halfway forwards. So you've got half a stride between the right foot and the left foot. Keep those hips square. Inhale to lengthen the chest. As you exhale, folding forwards over that right leg. This is a great hamstring stretch for that right leg. So really think about pulling the right hip back. You've got that straight spine. So we're not arched into the back here. We're pushing our bum back, leading with the chest. With every exhale, softening into that right leg a little bit more. Keeping the quads active. Draw those kneecaps up. Okay. On your next inhale, just start to come up halfway. So you want to have chest parallel pretty much with the ground. Our left hand is going to come onto the right thigh or the right shin. I'll spin around. And our right arm is going to come out to a T. Inhale here. Can you lengthen the spine? Look forward. As you exhale, start to twist into twisted trikonasana. So keeping that length in the spine, just taking your fingertips up, looking towards the right hand. With every inhale, think about lengthening the spine. With every exhale, trying to twist up to the right hand just a little bit more. Make sure you're breathing. If the neck hurts, just look down towards the right foot. We'll stay here for 2 more full cycles of breath. Try not to let that breath speed up. If the breath feels restricted, just ease out of it a little bit more. On your next exhale, bring the twists out, hands come to the hips, bend the right knee. Final balance. We're going to transfer all of our weight into our warrior 3. Ooh, lift up that left leg, feel those right hamstrings screaming. Keep the left leg as active as you can. Flex the left foot. Hold it here for 3, 2, and 1. Sweep the left leg all the way up. Squeeze the left knee to the chest. Bend in that left leg for 3. Get it up higher if you can. 2, and 1. Release. Both feet come together. So you should be at the front of the mat. We'll take 1 sun salutation to bring us down to the ground. Inhale, hands come up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, both hands come down to the mat. Step back, plank position. Option to move through 1 final vinyasa or skip it, coming straight back into downward dog. Or a child's pose. When you have done your vinyasa, wide feet together, bringing your chest down towards the ground. So take a couple of deep breaths in your child's pose. Hopefully you feel a bit warmer. Maybe you feel a bit, use the breath, use these deep breaths in your child's pose to try and slow that right back down, getting a little bit more control back over the breath. Maybe closing the eyes in your child's pose. Just letting the head relax onto the ground. If the head doesn't quite meet the floor, don't worry, you can cross the forearms and just let the head relax onto the forearms instead. If you need to sigh it out, sigh it out. From your child's pose, just start to walk the hands back towards your knees. Shuffle the legs off to one side. You might just need to shuffle your bum to the front of the mat. We're going to come all the way down onto our backs. Using your abs to get there, so last little bit of ab work. Hands come alongside the legs. And just start to lower down 1 vertebra at a time, taking your time to come all the way down to the ground. Feeling each vertebra meet the mat. And then when you've got there, take a long pencil stretch. Arms come out long, legs come out long. Make yourself as long as you can. As you exhale, draw the knees into the chest. Give yourself a hug. We will finish with a happy baby. So draw the knees into the armpits. Arms come on the inside of the legs and the hands catch hold of the outside of the feet. So the soles of the feet want to be facing up towards the sky. If you can't quite grab the feet, don't worry. You can catch hold of the ankles or the shins. Just start to rock from left to right, from side to side. Maybe straightening one leg, straightening the other leg. Just finding any movements here that feel good. It's the last position that we're going to come into before Shavasana, so if there's anything else you want to do, then feel free to do it. When you're ready, find your Shavasana, make your way into your Shavasana, grabbing any extra blankets, any extra layers that you want to use, taking the legs out long, hands come on the belly, or you can have the hands down by the side. If that causes any pain or any tension in the lower back with the legs out long, just keep the knees bent and let the knees collapse in towards each other so the soles of the feet are flat on the ground. Final option, if you would rather, we will finish in a seated position, so cross legs. I'm going to be here for 4 minutes, so if you would rather take a longer Shavasana or a shorter Shavasana, feel free to leave the video. Thank you for joining. If you're staying with me, then we will take a full inhale in through the nose. Full exhale out through the mouth, sigh it out. Do that one more time. Full inhale in. Full exhale out. Closing the eyes if you haven't already. Take in any last adjustments, any last movements that you want to take. And then start to find stillness. So just completely allowing the body to soften, to settle. The breath wants to come back to a natural rhythm. So without forcing anything, just start to let go of that breath control. Noticing as the shoulders start to relax, the forehead starts to soften and the jaw starts to soften. Just allowing all 10 fingers and all 10 toes, both palms and both feet, to be completely heavy. Just letting the body melt into the ground. Whenever you're ready to start to wake up the body. So just starting to take a couple of micro movements, wiggle fingers, wiggle toes. Rock the head from left to right. Take an inhale. Make yourself as long as you can. Come into a long pencil stretch. Arms come up overhead. Legs out long. Take that full body stretch. And as you exhale, draw the knees into the chest. Give yourself a hug. Keeping the eyes soft or the gaze closed. Just start to rock gently from left to right. Just massaging that lower spine into the ground. Making your way into a fetal position. And then take your time to come up to a comfortable seat. So with the legs crossed, or you can sit on the knees. Sitting up nice and tall. Draw the shoulders up to the ears. Roll them all the way down and back. Bring the palms together at the heart center. Bow the chin down to the chest. Thanking yourself for taking an hour out of your Tuesday morning to get up and show up and practice this morning. Hope you have a wonderful rest of Tuesday and a fabulous week ahead. Namaste. Thank you so much, everyone. Let me know if you've got any questions, as always, and I'll be here next week. So feel free to join me again. Thank you.